Yeah, I'm a little tired of making these videos. Jokes aside, yeah, it is the final part of every game of 2025 that I've completed. Now, of course, obviously, I've completed quite a lot throughout 2025, and I figured I'd talk about the final part of each game I've completed, and also kind of really start getting back into actually making those Pokemon retrospectives. Trust me, I am genuinely planning on doing the 3DS retrospective as soon as I can and doing the Switch ones. I kind of realized I don't have to talk about Legends Z again because I just reviewed that one. And is it really retrospective? I don't know. Um, so yeah, there's a bunch of other games I've completed this year. Well, last year. This list would have originally come out like all the way back in January. That's how far I am with videos. Okay, so jokes aside, obviously everyone knows the deal by now, but if you don't, this is a video talking about every game I've completed from 2025, and it's really just talking about if it's a new experience or not, and just, every game I've talked about on here is something that I either never played before or I played like DLC for it, or I played a remake or whatever. So, let's get into the first game, and that is of course Tekken 3. So yeah, Tekken 3 is the first game to talk about. So this is a fighting game, and this was kind of when I was kind of getting all up into like fighting games and such, and overall, it's a fairly interesting game. It's not something I'm probably gonna go out and immediately play again, but it's a game I liked. But I will definitely say the other Tekken games honestly were a lot better, to be honest. Next up is of course Mind's Eye. So that's probably a surprise considering that I reviewed this one. Well, kind of reviewed this one on the channel before and kind of didn't like it. But well, like me, I contradict myself all the time. It was supposed to be a fun reference to something. I guess EA, like EA, I contradict myself all the time. Jokes aside, Mind's Eye was actually somewhat entertaining. All well, honestly, spoilers. I'm gonna have a review of it up sometime, anyways. But I guess some quick thoughts on it. I like the game. Uh, it's definitely not the best thing ever released, but I kind of feel like it got a little too much hate. Um, but I do understand a lot where people generally found it disappointing. Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is next. And it's a game that I have still yet to review. Yeah, so Black Ops 7, it's probably one of the most hated Call of Duties we've gone. But if you've seen my other reviews of every hated Call of Duty, you kind of know that chances are you probably like this one. Call of Duty Black Ops 7, I liked it. Uh, Obviously, I have issues with how they did the campaign, mainly with the co-op stuff, but for the most part, the story was generally not that bad. Multiplayer, I have not tried yet, but zombies I actually really liked, and I think two out of three things is not that bad, unless you're missing like two out of three parts of your body. I don't know. Yeah. Jokes aside, yeah, Black Ops 7 was fairly alright. Definitely not the best game ever released, and I do know why people do have issues with it. But I I thoroughly did still enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to what Modern Warfare brings to the table. Next up is of course Mortal Kombat 1. Yeah, Mortal Kombat makes its return to the list. I'm not happy about that. Okay, jokes aside, Mortal Kombat 1 is fairly alright, to be honest. This was a part of the Legacy Collection. This came out back last December. And for the most part, I think it's alright. I mean, there's some games I really did like here. But honestly, this is kind of just one of the things I'm like probably not a big fan of is kind of compilations of games. Like on one hand, it sounds like a good idea, but on the other hand, it's just honestly a huge fan of everything there. It just kind of feels like a waste of money. And this game wasn't too bad, but it's just kind of felt bare bones. And I get it's the first one of the series, but Tekken. Actually, no, I did not play the original Tekken. Okay, I was gonna say that. Okay, but other games that really started the franchise kind of felt quite a bit better than this one. Hopefully, Mortal Kombat 2 is better. Obviously, we'll see. Obviously, speaking about Mortal Kombat 2, Mortal Kombat 2 is fairly alright. I did like this one. I did like this one a bit better, but I think a lot of the issues with Mortal Kombat really just still stands out to me. It's definitely not to say that like the game's bad, but I will definitely say I don't think the series got better until at least like after the first few entries. Mortal Kombat 3 is next. Might as well caught every Mortal Kombat I've completed this year. Mortal Kombat 3, I like it a bit more. It was a lot better than 1 and 2. It felt more interesting to... Yeah, it felt more interesting to play for the most part. And I will definitely say that's probably when the series itself was starting to get a lot better. So obviously we'll continue to see how well the other games go. Mortal Kombat 4 is next. Or Mortal 4 Kombat. That's... I don't know, weird title. Okay, Mortal Kombat 4 I actually really did like a lot more. I know on my list I gave it an 8 out of 10. So I think that really says a lot about it. I think out of the earlier Mortal Kombat games, or at least before they really hit the PS2, 3 and 4 are definitely the best ones. 1 and 2 I don't dislike, but they're definitely not really my cup of tea. But they're anything better than Mortal Kombat Advanced. Generally, I hate this game. I really cannot bring myself to like Mortal Kombat Advanced. It really just kind of felt like something just not fun. It was too tedious to play, and it generally was probably one of the more miserable experiences I've had this year. And it got so much worse because I found out that it's a port of another Mortal Kombat game that's actually really good. Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. I almost want to say I like this one a lot more. It was not tedious. It was not a bad game. It was not full of bullshit. Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 is the game I should have played. And now, this is not counted on my list because, I don't even know why. At this point, I don't think I cared anymore. I'm still going to say it's 290 games because it's just, I'd rather not redo all its titles. But Mortal Kombat Ultimate 3, or whatever the hell it's called, it's actually a pretty fun game. And, well, it's everything that I loved about Mortal Kombat versus, well, basically nothing I hated about Mortal Kombat, unlike Advanced. But for a bit, that's kind of it for our old friend Mortal Kombat. Now to go back to another old friend that took almost an entire year to complete. Crysis Remastered. The fact that this game is even on this list is something I'm actually really happy about. I've wanted to play Crysis really for a while. But I got the games all the way back in 2024, and well, I kind of sucked at Crysis, and it kind of really just fell down to the wayside. It wasn't until I don't even remember. Yeah, it wasn't until like I got past this one part, but I also started playing Crysis 2, and Crysis 2 is so much better. Okay, so we're sticking with Crysis 1. Try not to get carried away. Crysis 1, I actually really do like for the most part. I thought it was a pretty alright game. Um, there's a few things holding it back, in my opinion, though. But honestly, for a first person shooter game that wasn't Call of Duty, Halo, Battlefield, or anything else that's fallen to the wayside, it was a fairly great game, and it's one I recommend. I have a review of it on my other channel, but yeah, I'm happy to be talking about this game again. And next step is, of course, Crysis 2 Remastered. This 2, honestly, just that game was fantastic, actually. I really love it. Crysis 2 was kind of a huge step up, actually, compared to the first one, and in my opinion, it's kind of a perfect game. I don't really have any issues with it. It's also one that I've kind of double dipped on quite a few times, actually, because I really enjoyed the campaign and the gameplay. Uh, there's generally not enough I can say about Crysis 2, but I'll leave it off at that and just say that it's a really fun game and that it was a blast to play. Next up, we of course have more Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat on the Game Boy. The Game Boy Advance, so I had to kind of stop myself on that one. Honestly, this is probably like one of the only Game Boy games I have that isn't Pokemon. Yeah, I'm gonna be controversial and say it. I don't really care much about Nintendo's consoles other than Pokemon. The Switch and Switch here are they're kind of an outlier. But yeah, I will probably have that video. I will probably have that video out another time and watch her completely forget that she's even talking about that video. Mortal Kombat on the Game Boy, that's okay. It's not really anything special. I mean, if you want to play Mortal Kombat on the go, well, yeah, more power to you. I might kind of question you, but it's whatever. I also had the Game Gear version listed. The Game Gear version's a lot better, to be honest. I feel like it was definitely. I feel like it definitely was more interesting in playing. That's not to say that like the Game Boy version is awful. It's just to say that I'd rather play something in color rather than monochrome. I can deal with that with Pokemon, but I don't know. I don't think Mortal Kombat should have been ported to the Game Boy. Then of course we have more Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat 2 on the Game Boy. You know, at this point I'm just seriously getting tired of talking about Mortal Kombat. Like, I can't imagine doing an entire video of doing nothing but talk about this game. That's called foreshadowing. Honestly, torture sounds appealing now. Mortal Kombat 2 on the Game Boy, it's okay. A lot of the issues I have with it are literally every issue I have with Mortal Kombat 1. It's not too difficult, which I'm happy about, unlike Mortal Kombat Advance. That one kind of sucked. But it's just nothing really too special. And generally, I just feel like it could have just been done a lot better. I feel like if they released it on like anything else, it probably would have been a lot better. Of course, the Legacy Collection I think only had it for the Game Boy, which kind of sucks. Next up, we of course have Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. This is where the whole different experience stuff comes in, because I've already played Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. on a PS2, and it's actually really good. This one, it's a watered down port, and it's okay, but just if you're gonna play Deadly Alliance, get it on the PS2, get it on the Xbox. Actually, no, screw the Xbox, get on PS2 because it's not even backwards compatible on the Xbox. Deception is, Armageddon is, but Mortal Kombat 5 isn't. Thanks, Microsoft. Yeah, small rant over. There's another Mortal Kombat game, and this generally feels like this feels like purgatory now. Mortal Kombat Tournament Edition. Another Game Boy title. This is apparently the other half of Deadly Alliance. And yeah, it's okay. It's not anything too special. I would have liked it more if they actually had both games on one cartridge. But at the same time, yeah, it's an alright game. It gave me something else to play. But, yeah, just nothing really too special, to be honest. Next up, we of course have Mortal Kombat Trilogy. The Mortal Kombat Trilogy, yeah, it's honestly really alright. I don't really think it's anything too special, to be honest. For the most part, yeah, it was really okay. Nothing that special. I did like playing through it, but I think at that point I was already kind of getting a little burnt out on all the Mortal Kombat games, and so it really just kind of went down the wayside for me. Then, of course, we are done with Mortal Kombat. At least I hope so. I actually generally hope I don't have to talk about this series again for now, until they come out with a Mortal Kombat 2 or 13 or whatever. Next up, we of course are going back to an old friend, kinda. Crysis 3 Remastered. It's our final Crysis game, and it's actually really good. I will definitely say Crysis 3 is not as good as Crysis 2. I think 2 really just kind of took the cake in multiple ways. But Crysis 3, it's a really satisfying ending to the series. I still had fun with it. The gameplay was super awesome, and I look forward to being able to play it again. But being able to have this trilogy in this list really does make me happy, because I never really thought I'd be able to complete these games, especially Crysis 1. So being able to have them all completed kind of makes me happy, to be honest. I'm happy about that. Then, of course, we have a ton of visual novels coming up and a ton of racing games, so I am going to be kind of sweeping through them. Next up, we of course have Sakura Bunny Girls. It's a visual novel, and probably an easy platinum too. These games usually are. It's alright. I don't think it's anything too special. But, if you're into visual novels, yeah, I could definitely recommend this one. I did have fun while I did play it. And, of course, moving on to the next one. Next up is, of course, Sweetest Monster. It's another visual novel. It's a really fun one. I like this one. I had this one for quite a bit, actually. I got this back in 2024, and, well, one of the characters' names kind of reminds me of my sister Belle, and also reminds me of another friend of mine. Overall, it's a really interesting game. I did like it. It was a standout for the visual novels I played this year, which was a lot of them, by the way. But it's a fun game, and I recommend this one. But we of course have Twice Reborn, Empire visual novel. This one's alright. It didn't really capture me as much as other visual novels could, but it's not one that I'm offended exists. It's not like Mortal Kombat Advanced levels are bad, but just more so, it's honestly right. I honestly did enjoy it for the most part. Next up, we of course have Ride 4 and Ride. Yeah, this is the part of the video where there's a lot of, racing games and ton of other shit that I'm gonna be, kind of moving on from quickly. Honestly, not as impressive. Okay, so Ride 1 and 4, they're good games. I got them because I kind of liked Ride 3, but in retrospect, they're not really. This isn't really something I'm going to be going out of my way to play again. Yeah, they're fun racing games, but. I think if you played one of these games, you kind of played them all. So, I guess I am moving on. And next up, we of course have Sakura Nova. This was an okay game. I did like it quite a bit, but again with other visual novels, it just kind of eventually just kind of falls down to the wayside, and you just kind of forget a lot about it. Yeah, it's still one I definitely recommend. Easy platinum too. Next up, we of course have Sakura Succubus 2. Honestly, I have a bunch of these other games I still gotta talk about too, so I think I'm just gonna really group them all together just so I don't really have to say the same thing all over again. So, we got Sakura Succubus 2, 3, 7, 4, and 8. I really suck at counting at Roman numerals. These games are honestly alright. It's a long series, so there's a lot of parts I like about it, and I'm a sucker for visual novels and trophy hunting. So these are easy platinums to get, and they're also entertaining stories, but that's only all I can really say about them. So, I guess moving on, because we got TT Isle of Man, Rims Racing, Ride 5, and Ride 2. Honestly, it's really the exact same thing I can say about these ones. It's really just alright. I like 3, but these games are kind of meh. This isn't to say that I dislike racing games. I mean, I did like Forza Motorsport 5 and 4. And I did like Gran Turismo. Even though that one took like 40 hours just to really complete everything. But honestly, I'm just not really much of a. These games would be much more fun if you're playing multiplayer. But considering I just really did like single races, yeah, they kind of get boring after a while, and I think that's the big issue with them. Next up, we of course have King of Fighters 15. I like this series. I've played a few of these games already. I like this one. I originally got into the series because of Shumi, because I thought she was a cool character, and I'm kind of glad I did. These have been really fun so far, and have kind of been a standout for from what I like in fighting games. Of course, big about fighting games. Anime Warriors Clash. It's a fighting game. It's alright. It's shovelware in the best way. You're just fighting a bunch of stuff, and that's really it. That's a whole game. There's not really much of a story. It's just fight this, fight that. and just a lot of it just kind of feels repetitive. It's a alright game, but it's nothing too special. Next up, we of course have Sunny Cafe, a visual novel. Shocking, I know. I actually really did like this one. It was on my backlog for quite a bit, so when I finally got around to it, it was fun playing, and I'm glad I did get to play it. Next up, we of course have Street Fighter V. This was fun to play. I really did like Street Fighter V. I will definitely say I think I'm more of a Street Fighter fan than I am a Mortal Kombat fan at this point. So Street Fighter V was a really fun game. I had a lot of fun playing it. I was looking forward to playing the other games, and I still look forward to playing 6. Next up, we of course have Soul Calibur 6. I like this one. I will definitely say I do like the DLC character Amy quite a lot because she kind of reminds me of Teto from Vocaloid. But overall, this was a really fun game. I was shocked that I'm sorry, but I forgot his name was the guy from Witcher. I was shocked to find out that he was in this game, and I kind of got shocked to find out that Link's in one of the other Soul Caliburs. So, yeah, this game's always been quite a standout for me. It's honestly a really fun game. I think Soul Calibur is starting to become one of my... I think it's starting to become one of my favorite fighting games. But, yeah, I have still yet to try the rest of the series. But I think this one was a fairly kind of really good starting point for me. Next up, we of course have Mario Party Star Rush, Mario Party The Top 100, and Mario Party Island Tour. It's just kind of another let's group all these games together and talk about them. I like these ones. They were pretty fun to play. It kind of let me go out and dust off my 3DS and really have a few hours of fun with it. Oh well, these games are pretty fun, and I liked being able to play them. I know that handheld Mario Party games, they kind of seem a little mixed depending on really which one you play. But I think for the 3DS line of them, I think they were actually pretty fun. And a huge step up, because I loved Mario Party DS, but these ones kind of blew that one out of the water. Overall, it's been a fun series, and I'm glad that I got to play it. I would love to be able to finish it sometime, but considering that, the others are on NSO, yeah, it kind of might be difficult. Next up is, of course, Kirby Air Riders. I've played one of these games before on the GameCube. I don't remember the title of it, though, unfortunately. But that was my first experience to Kirby games. To be honest, I only know Kirby from Super Mario. I meant Smash Brothers. Oh my god. Yeah, I think I just gave away just how not much Kirby I play. So playing this one, it was interesting. It wasn't really on my radar for the most part. Even when I got a Switch, I still didn't really care much about it. But yeah, I gave it a try. It's a fun game. I still think I like Sonic Crossroads more and Mario Kart World. But this one wasn't that bad, to be honest. Plus we got a bunch of other fighting games. X-Men Children of the Atom, Marvel Superheroes, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes, Marvel vs. Capcom, Clash of Superheroes. That's Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter. It's a lot of these. I think this is Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes. Then Marvel vs. Capcom 2. The Hulk looks really weird in this one. Okay, there's like a lot more Street Fighter that I gotta talk about after this. So I can probably just talk about all these at once, but I'm gonna be talking about those ones later. Uh, yeah, I'm just gonna put this all under the Marvel vs. Capcom stuff. I don't know if it's like the exact same IP or if it's a bunch of other stuff. I like these games. They were actually pretty fun to play. Being able to play as both Marvel characters and Capcom characters was pretty fun. Obviously, the series did get a lot better over time because, well, there's a lot more Capcom characters to pick from, and there's bound to be more Marvel heroes and other stories revolving around them. Because when these came out, this was really kind of in the 90s, and well, Capcom did have a good character roster at that point, and Marvel did have a really wonderful squad of heroes. Being able to play these games, well, being able to play games that came later when they had more stuff to really use, I think made it much more fun. But this isn't to say that these games were bad. I actually really did like these games. I had fun with them, and I look forward to playing the other Marvel vs. Capcom games. Of course, moving on, we of course have Street Fighter. Then Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter 2, The New Challengers, Street Fighter Alpha, Warrior Dreams, Street Fighter Alpha 2, Street Fighter Alpha 3, Street Fighter 3, New Generation, Street Fighter 3, Second Impact. After another Second Impact Giant's Attack, then of course Street Fighter 3, Third Strike Fight for the Future. Oh my god, that took forever. Yeah, so there's a lot of Street Fighter games. For the most part, I have the same opinions on them. I think, honestly, everything after Street Fighter, actually I didn't like, for the most part. Street Fighter 1, I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but it got a lot better with Street Fighter 2, and obviously all the ones that came out after that, I really did like. I didn't like the new characters being introduced, and overall they were pretty fun games to play. And I look forward to being able to play the rest of the games and the other Marvel vs. Capcom stuff. Next up, we of course have Centipede. Yeah, so I never played Centipede before. It's alright. I don't remember what compilation this was from. I think it was from the Flashbacks collection. For the most part, I thought it was alright. I will definitely say I don't think I'm the biggest fan of some of these older titles. I respect what they eventually became. It's just playing for these generally was not the most entertaining. And it's the same with Space Duel. I would actually say Space Duel I actually liked a little less than this one. It's not my favorite game, but meh. Moving on. Next up is of course Injustice 2. I actually really did like this one. I played the first one quite a bit back before. I don't remember when it was, but yeah, I liked Gods Among Us. Injustice 2 is much more fun in quite a few ways. I like the DLC for this one too. Hellboy's in it. That's honestly really cool, and was glad to. No, I really do wish that I got into the series a lot earlier, but I mean, I'm not complaining too much now. Next up, we of course have Forza Motorsport 5. I had fun with this one. I really did enjoy this one. It was fun playing this one. Uh, it looked extremely wonderful, and played well. Cars looked really cool. And I I'm glad I got to play it. Next up, we of course have Demon Slayer, the Hinokami Chronicles 2. Yeah, I really did enjoy this one. I'm not really much of a fan of Demon Slayer, but I'll play the games. They were fun. I played Hinokami Chronicles 1 back in 2024. So when it came to this one, it wasn't really much of an issue picking it up again. Because, it was a pretty fun game. I really did enjoy it, and I hope you see a third one sometime. Well, then we have a disappointment. NASCAR 21 Ignition, or whatever the hell it's called, plus the 2022 expansion, I really cannot bring myself to like. It wasn't really anything too fun, and it wasn't anything too fun, and I just feel like what it did, other games did better. Next up, we of course have Dissidia Final Fantasy. Oh, Final Fantasy NT. I liked this one. It was a fairly fun game. A Final Fantasy fighting game generally seems like a really good idea in my opinion, and I'm glad that I got to play this one. I'm not familiar with every character because I've not played this series. I've not played all the games, but when I do, it'll be nice being able to see all these familiar characters again. Next up, we of course have Forza Motorsport 4. This was pretty fun. I did enjoy this one for the most part. I don't really have much to say about it. But it's a pretty fun game. Next up, we of course have Metro 2023 Redux. I had so much fun with this one. This was another game I had back in 2024 that I never really went back to until last year. It's a fun game. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I still got to play Last Light and Exodus, but I'm looking forward to them. It wasn't really anything I was expecting, to be honest. So this game completely blew me away, actually, and became one of my favorite games, actually. Call of Duty 2, the big red one, is next. Yeah, it's shocking. The COD fan has not completed every COD yet. Yeah, Call of Duty 2, the big red one, I liked. I had fun with that. It was interesting to see. It was actually interesting to see really what else they would do in this one. Again, it's a World War II game. But it also has fixed health. It also has fixed health too. As well, you won't regenerate your health. Like how it would work with the other ones. So it was kind of it really did add a bit more to an interesting angle, in my opinion, and I thought that was pretty alright for the most part. I had fun with it, and I look forward to being able to talk about it more in the future if I ever do. Next up is of course Call of Duty World at War Final Fronts. The PS2 had a copy of World at War. This one is pretty much completely different from World at War. It focuses on a different campaign, but overall it's a really fun game still. I thought that was actually pretty fun to play through. It's not as graphically great as World at War. Honestly, that game still does look amazing. You will always hear people say that. But for a PS2 port of this game on that old hardware, it generally looks really good, and it was a standout on the console. And it was one I really liked a lot. Next up is, of course, Killzone. Been familiar with the Killzone games for quite a bit. I first played Shadowfall, well, a bit of it, back in early 2025. Honestly, it's a pretty fun game so far, but I wanted to play the originals. And so I did. Killzone 1 is actually pretty fun. I've not played the other games yet, but I can tell it's gonna be a really fun series to play. This is an interesting game. I was shocked to find out that it was a PS2 game. I always thought that the series started on PS3, but I look forward to being able to play the other games and eventually giving my thoughts on them. Next up is, of course, Doom. Yeah, the reboot. It's a fun game. Yeah, Doom is actually pretty fun. It's been on my radar for quite a bit, but I was glad I was able to play it. Quite challenging too. Like, really challenging. But yeah, I've been meaning to play this since 2024. And it kind of really just took a while for me to really want to play it. And well, now that I did, I'm glad that I had fun because it let me be able to move on to, well, the next entries. And that is, of course, Doom the Dark Ages, which, obviously, I probably should review it soon. Doom the Dark Ages was generally a really amazing game. I really cannot express how much I adore this game. I had a lot of fun with it, and I thought the game's story was pretty fun. I thought the gameplay was fun. Being able to use the shield was generally really fun, and I'm looking forward to the DLC when it eventually releases. Next up, we of course have Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. Yeah, to be honest, I didn't really expect it to complete any Metal Gear Solid games. This one I completed for one of my girlfriends, Bethany, who, she's a huge fan of this series, and one of my other partners, Leanne, is also a huge fan of the series too. So, I basically managed to complete a game that two of my partners liked and quite a few of my friends liked too. It's a really interesting game. I don't think I'm gonna try any more of this series, to be honest. But considering that this one is probably gonna be the only mainline one I play, I thought that I felt that's a fairly decent starting point for it. Next up, we of course have One Night Burlesque. Another version novel, but it's actually really fun. I like this one. I thought it was pretty fun. It was a really, it's very interesting, visually, and I think how the game presents itself really makes it stand a lot more. It's one I'm looking forward to reviewing sometime, because it was a blast to play, and I recommend it to folk who haven't yet. Next up, we of course have Crimson Song. If I recall correctly, I think this one has lesbian vampires, so that makes it peak automatically. It's another visual novel. I really thought it was a really fun one, and yeah, I had a blast playing this one, and I'm looking forward to getting to review it sometime. Next up, we of course have Midnight Remastered. This one's pretty fun. I liked it. I guess it was an old horror game. So, yeah, it was fun to get to play. And, yeah, that's really all I have to talk about it. Next up, we of course have Vampire the Masquerade Shadows of New York. Now, I've kind of played one of these games before. For the most part, yeah, it's actually a pretty alright game. I really did like it. Uh, and I'm looking forward to Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, because that seems more up my alley. But I was able to play one of the other games, well, kind of from the same developers, Werewolf the Apocalypse, which was also fun. But yeah, I think so far my exposure to these games has been pretty fun, and I look forward to experiencing more of these. Next up, we of course have Cynthia Hidden in the Moon Shadow. I was not expecting this game to be that good. Uh, I, I really didn't like this one. Uh, I don't really have much to compare it to, but I actually thought it was a really fun game to play. It was some random game I found on Switch that did actually seem fun, and yeah, turns out it was super fun, and I recommend it to folk who haven't played it yet. It's on Switch. I don't know if it's on anything else, but I do know it is on Switch though. And it's another visual novel, not Centaur Girls in Love. Kind of a sus title, but meh. It's a visual novel. I really did like this one. I don't really have too much else to say about it, aside from the fact that I liked it. Next up, we of course have Needy Girlfriends. It's another visual novel. That's all I really have to say about that. But yeah, it was a entertaining game. Then of course, the final game of 2025. Saints Row: Get Out of Hell. Yeah, this is the final game of 2025 that I completed. 290. So, this one was fun. So I played the Saints Row games, well, throughout 2025, or at least 3 and 4. And this one, they actually did seem pretty fun, and I wanted to give it a try. Lo and behold, it was a really fun game, actually. Obviously, the only issues I have with it is that it feels a little short for my liking, but I know this series is controversial for what it became, and I will definitely say I kind of like the silliness of this game. I mean, the third one, yeah, it definitely was more serious, it's still serious, but the fourth one, like, you're the president and you have to fight off aliens who invaded the White House. I think that's kind of cool. And the fifth one, your boss literally just gets dragged down to hell and you have to rescue them. I thought that was actually kind of fun, and I'm probably in a minority with this, but yeah, I generally thought these games were fun. I thought this one was no different. Saints Row: Get Out of Hell was probably one of the best games I played this year. Then, of course, yeah, this is it. This is every game I've completed. From, if I can even find the first one. There's a lot of stuff I had written down. Yeah, from Resident Evil Revelations, from, if I can even find it, like, I generally am gonna have to look that up, actually. If it'll let me. But yeah, it was a really interesting time to do this. I guess I do not have the it up anymore. I might have to check my server. The second one I completed back in, like, January 4th of last year. So, I hope maybe that can, I hope maybe that can actually, that I can find it now. If I can, I'm generally gonna be really upset. Found it. Yeah, from, basically, ignore everything else I've said before and act like this is immediately coming after, what I originally meant to say. But yeah, from Resident Evil 1, damn it, from Resident Evil Revelations 1 on January 1st, 2025 to Saints Row, to a Saints Row Dead of Hell on December 31st of that year. This is a really fun journey. I had fun damn it, I had fun going through every game I've completed and really talking about them and getting to review them. Obviously, I'll probably have more of these in, like, actual reviews soon. Or, when I mean soon, probably, like, eventually. But, yeah, I really had fun, with these videos. I found a lot of new stuff to play last year that I'm generally really ecstatic to have been able to find. And there's games that, like Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, Doom 3, Mass Effect Andromeda, Ghostwire Tokyo, Death and Request, well, the second one, but also Death and Request, but, like, Halo Infinite, like Soul Hackers 2, the Resistance trilogy, like Mortal Kombat, Thief, like, there's a lot of stuff that I really just never expected to ever play again. And I'm glad that I was able to. Now, obviously, some people are probably thinking, what the hell, I do have a backlog that huge. I promise I don't. Like, the original, like, I think 30 or 40 games were games that I did have for, like, years at that point. I accidentally just bit my tongue. That's how I sounded for a moment. But yeah, this was either games I had for, like, years at that point, or that were on my backlog for a bit, or just for whatever reason. Honestly, I really did enjoy making these videos. This was super fun to do. I don't know if I'm gonna do one for 2026. As of now, I've completed over 100 games. But honestly, I think I might. I don't know. I would love to do that, but it really just depends on what I have to say about that. Because honestly, there's a lot of games that I just kind of piled up and really just talked about them and just moved on. And I do want to do the top games that I've completed in 2025 and the worst games of 2025. Because honestly, there's a lot of games I played last year that, well, are all good. There's also been some duds or some ones that were generally disappointing. And I'm also finding that this year too. But even if I don't do the games of 2026 I completed, it was still fun being able to talk about this. I liked being able to do this. And it was fun to really get to sit down with everyone and really be able to talk about all of this. And obviously, I will of course be back next time with most likely the Pokemon 3DS retrospective and completing it with the Switch retrospective. And yeah, that's all I really have to say for today. So of course, thank you all for watching. I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and I will see you all next time.